So hello everybody, welcome back to another live stream, and it's another one with F1 CRR for the Classics Championship. Here we are at the French Grand Prix in round 7. It was Chris the man who took victory back in Mexico. We missed Monaco, Mexico and Monza, but we're back at it once again. Let's hope this is going to be a banger of a race out here. It was obviously only sprint results were taken from Canada, so we're not really counting that in. But No Sebo took victory in Monza and followed up with a victory in Monaco, but then came back the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Sniper, who took victory and a top step back since he returned back to the grid. Let's hope it's all smooth sailing from now, as we have our first actual driver out on track. That is going to be amazing to see, and that will be Chris himself out on track now. As we're now going to try and follow up, have a look at anyone else who would have exited the pits. No assist, still sitting in the pits. So is Certain is in fact out on an out lap at the moment. Currently just behind Chris though on an out lap. Obviously no one is yet to start a flying lap at this point, but Chris and Captain Teenless now exiting the pits as well. Currently, this is just the card is in the 1992 Williams, which usually should not be allowed, but anyways, we see him in here, and there's No Sebo, who wants to return to the top step, definitely wants to get his position back, his victorious momentum back, which he did not get in Mexico, but I'm sure he could be, and he will well be the closest competitor. Only if we have some lap times on board, we'll know, but No Sebo would pretty much be the one and only close competitor. Maybe Certain could be in there as well, or Teenless. Remember, he finished on the podium in Monza. We will have to see how he performs here in France, here at the Circuit Paul Ricard, as we are just about to see Chris coming across the last few corners to make it to begin his flying lap. Right behind him is Certain, who's also eager to start his flying lap just behind Chris. That is actually a pretty strategic move that'll give him some tow, some slipstream. He might not like it for most part, but he will love it if he gets some slipstream. Obviously these cars having no energy or no DRS to use on the straight, so you obviously cannot gain anything at the straight unless it's setup related. No, as Chris Sniper moves so far to the right hand side to really not give him any space, any slipstream, and also get to the racing line as well. But he just starts his flying lap, going into turn 1, into 2, makes it and navigates it very smoothly out there. And into turn 3, he's going to go just braking before the 50 meter board, going it smoothly so far. A little slide out there on the exit, but keeping it smooth. And Certain's move, well, might be the amazing one, but we will have to see, as we have Teenless now out there doing a flying lap as well. He's got an all black helmet matching up with his suit, but we will have to see. As we're now back getting on board, let's have a look at Chris now. He's just making his way at the end of the middle sector. That's going to be 57.3 for him, but what about Certain? That might have been a bit quicker than Chris, but we'll have to watch and see. Let me just go get my water bottle, otherwise I'll be literally cooked at this point. We're having lap times, but of course that is the AI. But actual drivers we should be focused on are in front of your screens, ladies and gentlemen. As Chris is about to finish his lap, we're going to have a look at it and let him finish. He almost invalidates the lap, little bit of a slide and a snap of oversteer there, which he obviously would not like, but we will have to see what he does and what it goes around as he's making his way across that final corner, as Teenless has already have a lap time on board, which is the quickest of 1:44.6, but we'll see what Chris can do. So can Certain right behind him, and that's going to be P1 for Chris, and Certain now goes even more quicker, so definitely that tricks and drips. He's playing the tricks he was playing, getting that little tow from Chris, getting that slipstream that was going to help him. That definitely helped him, and that gets him P1 and pole position. Faster by over a tenth. Definitely that slipstream helped him. out there, and sure, he is looking to be the underdog out here. As I said, it was going to be Chris and No Sebo, closest competitors. Chris a tenth slower than Certain, and No Sebo over 3 tenths, 3.5 tenths almost slower than No Sebo, and then Captain Teenless in P4. He's far off these guys, almost more than a second, and no assists. The man who's yet to put a lap time on board. We will have to watch and see. And he be the underdog, just like Certain. Can he put out a lap out there that's going to surprise all of us? I doubt that, but we will have to watch and see. And that is going to be pretty slow, though. We see how about these guys. No Sebo currently P3 running, and Chris now behind Certain, who's let Certain past. But we'll have to watch and see if Certain pits. He does not pit, though. He goes straight up. So does Chris. Both of them are going straight up out there, and Certain, what is he doing? He's moving. I think he's missed out the pit entry, and now he's going to be pitting. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He almost did a 360 turn, like a normal car and like a Formula 1 car, but Chris now unable to improve. He obviously maybe took a cool down lap to cool the temperatures down, cool the tires down, to have an amazing one. Now we will have to watch and see if he's able to improve. So if No Sebo able to improve, what about Chris? And he's invalidated his lap. That is not going to count. Nothing's going to count for him on this lap, and that is going to be pretty much disaster for Chris, at least on his second flying lap. What about No Sebo? He's going it smooth so far, and Teenless across over 7 tenths quicker than his lap time, but I highly doubt that it's going to be doing something to get closer to the top 3. We'll have to watch and see, though. What about No Sebo? He's just 4100 quicker than his previous first sector time, and Chris Knifer anyways out there, and Certain the one in the pits as I just go and grab a drink. And there we go, I'm back in no time, and Chris Knifer obviously invalidating his lap, already heads into the pits and wants brand new set of the dry compound tyres. What about Teenless? He was improving, he indeed improved by over a second, but does not matter at all. Still stays P4 though, but nothing much is going to be happening to his position out there. What about No Sebo then across that finish line? How quick is he going to be able to go? Is he able to change some? He is though, goes P2. What a lap by the Turkish driver, if I'm not wrong. He does have a Turkish flash to himself, and that is P2 for No Sebo. That is 1:43.261, quicker than Chris, his competitor and championship rival, has P3 at the moment. Chris has P2, but so has Certain P1 at the moment. Still, nobody able to challenge that lap time at all. And Certain goes even more. Okay, he doesn't go quicker though. I thought he did go quicker, but it's just the fastest lap that shows around there. And No Sebo already invalidated his lap as well, so he's not counting anyways out or anything. Now just 8 minutes, 8.5, or in fact just 8 minutes now remain in this qualifying session. Certain Penna being the quickest one out there, as No Sebo just slows down very much to maybe do a little bit of burnout or just not get mixed up with any other cars. He's done 3 laps on those tires and he's going to head straight into the pits. 2 drivers, the top 3 are looking really close to each other just within a few tenths, and that is going to be a great battle. The top three could well be an awesome thing to see, and Certain might just be the underdog here at Paul Ricard. He was not that good at Brazil, so not that much good of him. We saw in Italy as well. He did good, but not that victory, not pole position good. We will have to wait and see how good he's able to do, if he's able to do something with his flying lap. The one he's about to start, and no Sebo into the pits, but Chris Sniper back out on track as well. And there goes Chris Sniper into the wall, just on the exit of the final corner. He was trying to make start his flying lap, and he's put it in the wall. That is it for Chris Sniper. Currently was P3. Wasn't looking that quick. He was trying to improve, trying to get his lap better, but he just put it in the wall. And now his chances of a pole position are gone, and now 0% as it stands. He's out of the session. He still says P3. I don't think he's going to lose his position though, because Teamless on an invalidated lap. Nos is still in the pits, but 6/10 only if they could find though. But pole position might have slipped, and we will have to see what Chris does in the race though. But he might have made it difficult for himself out there, and Certain is going to try and look for improvements, and he is improving. At this point, Certain Penna is really turning into Ayrton Senna, as he's currently with the lap time 143.229, the quickest driver of all, but he's on an improving at least 2.5 to over 2/10 in the first sector. But we'll have to see how good he does at the end of the middle sector. We will get to just see the lap time, and over almost 5/10, half a second, just a little less than that. Nobody's going to come and catch him unless No Sebo could do something about it. The Italian is on his way to take the pole position, his first pole of the year, his first pole of the season. We'll have to watch and see, but let's see what he does as he's just about to come across those last few corners. Just less than 5 minutes now remaining in this qualifying session. Certain is more than eager to do. Got put an improved lap time out on track. On the track where he's feeling very confident, and very, very confident enough that he's going to pay 142.4. Improves by over 7/10. That's a great lap by Certain. That sees him take pole position here at Paul Ricard. Going white there, but I wonder if that was rather intentional or it was a mistake. We'll have to watch and see, with now only about 4 minutes remaining, with all the other drivers having to do a lap time. What about Teamless? He's again invalidated another lap. He's not having a good qualifying at all. He's currently P5 and last of the running cars. We'll have to see what he's able to do though. What about No Sebo? He does improve by over 2/10, but that's not going to be enough. That's in the first sector. There's a disqualification in this qualifying session. A lot of the drivers getting disqualified, but those are just the AI ones. What about No Sebo now? That might have been the fastest middle sector, but that's only the mini-map that's showing us about it. We'll have to watch and see Certain on an invalidated lap. I wonder if he's going to pit for a new set of tyres or continue on. We'll just get to see it, as it's now just 3 minutes remaining. No Sebo just making his way past the last corner. He'll have to make the most of it to try and get, this might be his one and only chance in this qualifying session to put a lap time out on board. He does improve over a tenth, but that's not going to be enough for Paul. Certain might take it here in Paul Ricard in France. There we go, and here the commentator really not having one of the best nights out here, really, with the sickness I have, but we're going to try and get back out on to the focus on this qualifying and this lap. From No Sebo, no assist coming out on an out lap. What about Teenless? Is he going to be improving in at the end of the first sector? We'll have to watch and see. Almost locked up out there on the corner. This is a great helicopter shot. And he is not improving at all. That is just P5 for him at the moment. But that doesn't seem like he's going to improve. No Sebo improving. Just by 36 hundredths. I think Certain into the pits, knowing that no one's going to come and catch him. Comfortably sitting out there. No Sebo. But how quick is he going to be able to be? Is he going to be taking pole position from Certain here at Paul Ricard, which might be his final lap? He does improve, get into the gets into the 149, 142.9s, but not enough. That well might be, ladies and gentlemen, Certain Penna's first pole position of the season. That is going to be here in France at the French Grand Prix, round 7 of the Classics Championship. Remember that. I'm sure he's going to remember that as well. Taking pole might have been easy after Chris retired, but I think Chris was far off as well. I only doubt that he was in fact going to be able to catch up to him or get closer to him at all. So we will have to get to your pole position man and enjoy it. I'm sure he is enjoying it as well, and we'll have to see how good he's able to do along all the other drivers in the race. Though No Sebo still going at it, not finding any improvements at all, and I'm sure he'd rather be happy with it though at the moment, because considering that is not what he would have wanted currently. I'm sure P2 would be good for him though, but he would have wanted to be quicker than Certain. And that'll be it for qualifying session here in France at Paul Ricard, that is. Let's catch this up as we're just having Captain Teenless, the only one. He's improving, in fact, by 4/10, but I think he's going really, really slow and has invalidated his lap anyways. They're just wanting to go take it around and go in the pits now. So that will be it of the French Grand Prix qualifying session. There is your man, Certain Penna, taking pole position by over 3/10. A great lap by him in the 1991 McLaren MP4/6 car. Everyone having that car inside that top 5, except for Captain Teenlace. He's in that 1992 Williams, but still unable to catch up any of these guys. 1.6 seconds slower than the guys out, than the fastest guy out there here today. I'm sure he wants it. He wants to be quicker as well, but he did not have a good qualifying. But I'm sure, don't worry about it. You might try and get, or in fact, get a better race than qualifying, though. We'll have to wait and see. Anyone certain really enjoying that pole position after Chris crashed out of the qualifying session. That was really Certain's day today. But I'm just saying out here, maybe Chris might have not been able to be fast enough, but we'll have to see in the race. He might be quicker though. Certain will have to play it out smart out there. Play it smart, play it smooth as well. Just waiting a little. Maybe we should be able to go just in a little bit time for the French Grand Prix, which all of you have been waiting for as well, for the race to start, for the Grand Prix to begin, as we're just waiting on it. We're already starting for the French Grand Prix. It's 5 red lights, and that is going to be for the formation lap starting out there. Certain having to start the Grand Prix from the first place out on the grid. He will have to perform. He will have to get a good start of the line to try and maintain his lead, to try and become and show us how good of a driver he is, not only in qualifying but in the race as well. We'll have to wait and see and really enjoy these 27 laps of these cars going around this Paul Ricard circuit, which is actually not on the modern Formula 1 calendar, which was last displayed in 2023, I think, if I'm not wrong, or in 2020, or in 2022. But sure, we are having all this action with these classic cars on front of your screens, everybody weaving around to get the maximum temperature in their cars. In their tires to get them the best temperatures. All of them weaving around, some of them weaving before, some of them weaving later, but everybody has to get some temperature in the cars. Everybody has to get some temperature in those tires to get these dry tires around and get them to the pit stop window. Mostly going to be a one stop, unless it's a safety car out here that might see later or at the start of the Grand Prix, but there you go, cars lining up on the grid now, just making their way. The pole sitter making his way just past the final corner to get to the grid. we go. There is the pit stop predictor. One stop. Pitting lap 13. And getting it. And there we go. There will be 5 red lights. And we go racing here in France. Good start for Satan. Great start for Great start for No Seppo. Around the outside of Certain. Into turn 1 he goes. Sent it there. Does Certain as well, trying to defend. Both of them go wide. Very wide. Just behind them comes Captain Teenless. Who's doing a fantastic job as well. Just hanging it around there. Which he might hang it in there as well. We'll have to watch and see. Certain currently not in the lead. There is No Seppo out there. He's currently leading the French Grand Prix. Who's taking the lead at the start of Certain. Certain definitely did not have their start he would have wanted. Kind of a Lando Norris start, not leading lap 1 at the end of your pole position start. We'll have to wait and see as team that's currently P3. He might have a go at Certain, and he does have a go at him. That is going to be a great dive bomb, but he runs in wide. He goes wide himself as well. Excuse me, Teenless gets a penalty himself as well. That was a good move though, but was it worth the penalty? If you make the move, you get a penalty. Definitely not. There's now Chris Knifer really coming behind Certain, really not having the start he would have hoped for. Now No Seppo running away as well. Chris Knifer now putting a lot of pressure on Certain as well. Who's going to try and pressure Teenless, but No Seppo already 1.7 seconds ahead. That is only beneficial to No Seppo at the point, because Teenless probably not going to have the pace to try and catch up to Seppo, and he's going to have all the pace. He's going to try and unleash all the pace, trying with these guys, and there Chris goes down the inside line of Certain to make a move into 3rd place. Certain really things not falling into place for him at all. From P1 to P4. No assist, was just over a second behind these guys. Still staying in P5 though. But we will have to watch and see. There you go, there is out there. Your stop now. It was a stop at lap 13, but now it's showing lap 12 and lap 26. We'll have to wait and see now. 2.1 seconds. I think Teenless not going to be quicker, but it's really going to delay the process. All those behind. He goes very wide, and that's going to be him losing the position into P4 now. Certain's right behind him to try and take that position. Who obviously wants to be at the top and be in the best of the conditions. As far as the race is concerned, he's still giving it everything. He's not backing out at all. And he almost sent it out there. That would have been disaster if he did send it out there though. There goes Teenless into P2 already, as No Seppo gets the fastest lap, 2.1 seconds. I think Teenless is now really working almost as a wonder, as almost Senna. Penna tries to go on the inside, but misses out on the chance. Now he's going to go around the outside. And I'm not really having all the days. And there it goes on the inside, does. Teenless once again. That might not be in the best of conditions at this point, but sure, giving it all. on lap 3 out of 27, already having that cough attacks at this point, because really can't otherwise, because I was sick the whole week and just managed to try and get to the race. As now we're on lap 3, no Seb, already 2 seconds ahead. He's not increasing the gap, he might be managing pace, but Chris now already on the tail of Teamless, who moves to the right hand side to try and defend from Sniper. Does it certain? We will have to watch and see how good all of these are able to do, but try and get things around. A certain currently still staying in P4 though. That fall out of 27. No Sebo so far really looking good. He started P2, had a great start, and that is really it for him. Still maintaining the race lead. Now almost increasing the gap to him, that is Teamless, but I think No Sebo might be maintaining pace at this point, trying to save these tires, because he knows as long as Teamless is right behind all these guys, he might not need to push, but he might need to, as others are pushing behind. And now Grace on the tail of Teamless out there. And there we go, he goes very, very wide. Teamless gets another penalty, so does Senna. So wide did go Penna, I should say, certain Penna, and there we go. These guys are giving it all. Teamless is really getting the penalties, but he's not making it easy for Chris Sniper at all. Trying to get that position, obviously. No Sebo wants all of Teamless to try and defend against Chris Sniper, who's obviously going to be his main rival and main contender, and has won the previous Grand Prix in Mexico as well since he came back to racing. And Chris Sniper puts a lap, fastest lap of the Grand Prix on lap 5 of 27 at this point, as we are getting closer and closer to those pit stops. Obviously they're almost there, at least 10 laps away from us with these guys just driving, and now the gap is only 1 second to the race leader. No Sebo might not have that much of pace in him, with Chris Sniper having done the fastest lap now. It's going to be right behind Teamless now, try and make a move on the inside line. Is he going to be able to defend? Will be Teamless? Definitely not. And he's going to let. He is not going to let. He is in fact going to be able to defend. It breaks very later than does Chris. And that is going to be Teamless keeping this position for one more lap. And Chris now on the exit, almost losing the car there. Remember, it crashed in qualifying. He almost did it twice in this round 7 here at France. See now, Chris still behind Teamless. Teamless now very close. It's just half a second now, so no Sebo is going to have to defend from Teamless. Teamless might be coming to win, as Certain now pits. Anyways, nothing's happening in his race, so he would rather want to pit now. I wonder if he has front wing damage. And he does, in fact. A new wing for Certain. He might have had damage. Might have been contact with Teamless, and there you go. Teamless has taken the race lead. He hasn't though. I don't know why it's showing him. Okay, it is Chris, the race leader, who's taken the race lead. No Sebo did everything, did try to hold on to it, but didn't do much out there. And a great job. There goes Teamless goes very wide. Lap 6 out of 27. Honestly, I've never waited for Grand Prix to end as early as this one, because definitely I don't really have the condition I would have hoped for, because but we'll definitely try and get through this. Now the gap of 1.1 seconds between the top two already. Gap only increasing lap by lap. Yeah, we know how Chris is, how good he is, the ability he's got to win the Grand Prix. Even if he's not good in qualifying. Remember the one in Brazil where he qualified, I think P2 or P3, still ended up winning the Grand Prix. Sure, he's doing it all. And now Chris gets another fastest lap, 1.4 seconds the gap between the top two. Certain Penna now P7, still staying. He's got the new tires though. Surely he's going to try and progress through the field as quickly as he can. Genius with all the penalties, still running P3 though. But for how long? Chris now for the moment, lap 7 out of 37, 20 more laps after this one. Taking it smooth, taking it cleanly is Chris Sniper at this point. Currently 1.7 seconds to gap to P2. And going quicker after quicker. Quicker and quicker every lap. Increasing the gap from P2 and from No Sebo. Currently the race leader taking it smooth, 1.6 seconds, 1.5 seconds. Honestly, I don't like it because I'm really low on energy, and I never really this low while I'm commentating or anywhere in the commentary box. But unfortunately I have to, because if I keep doing that, that is not going to be good. And there you go, No Assist finally overtakes Steamless to get himself to P3. That might be a podium chance for No Assists. We see if Teenless goes for it. He doesn't though, because he might end up Teenless so far not really making a stupid move, but I think obviously he got the start of the race, really going everywhere, getting penalties as well. Still at P4 though. I have to appreciate No Assist doing a good job catching up to him. So far smooth from him though as well, but no penalties, no nothing. P4 out of 5 drivers in this Grand Prix. 14 list now, over 20 seconds. For certain, this might be his best chance and probably the best position he could get. The top two once again now. No Sebo doing a very good job now, pushing on those tires which he might have saved for a little in the Grand Prix, as the leaders going to lap 9 of the race. And now Knifer just half less than half a second ahead of P2 No Sebo. And No Sebo obviously going to be looking to push and get the best of the best exits of the corner into the main straight, which is obviously a DRS straight, but no DRS in these cars. But it didn't really have the exit now. The gap was less than half a second, just over 3/10. It's now almost back to a second. I think in this game, it obviously matters the closer you are to the driver you're able to overtake, but it doesn't really matter in terms of the DRS. Because that's anyways not available at all. But we'll have to wait and see. 1.2 seconds again, the gap increasing and increasing between the top two. Both trying to take it great, but now no Sebo. He won in Monza, he won in Monaco. Chris won in Australia, won in I wonder if the first round wasn't Australia, it was USA. Won in USA, won in Brazil, came back in Mexico, won that as well. Surely looking to be taking on road the second victory in a row for the second time this season. But we'll have to get to the top. Now two drivers in this race have made a pit stop. Teamless and Certain just ahead of Teamless now, who is a pit stop. Who just made a pit stop and obviously got behind him. 20 seconds still low, but the pit stop might be over, just a little over than 20 seconds. He might be able to go through and ahead of the leaders. Remember, he started on pole position, but it was a disaster of a start against No Sebo and really lost the lead and all the momentum he would have hoped for. Top two once again, the gap 1.5 seconds. .3 seconds the gap, still taking it as smooth. There is a yellow flag. I wonder who has spun, and that is actually none of the top 5 drivers. I thought that was going to be some kind of maybe a teamless or someone spinning out there, but there's no one who spins. And we'll get to see that is now one more lap. Chris Sniper staying ahead of No Sebo in this Grand Prix. Into lap 11 they go. They're pretty much a smooth sailing, but still I think No Sebo. I wonder who holds the current fastest lap. No Sebo was doing quicker in one of the ones, but we'll get to know at the end of the race. Let's actually have a look at it, because I think we can have a look at it though and try and get the best of it. Gap is actually the leader, so the gap to the leader. And Sergio now gets the fastest lap. Might be the out of Slebus out there, certain. No doubt on his one lap pace though. Wondering he took pole here in qualifying, but in the race he's been pretty mediocre, currently running in P4 after bottling the start. The top two certain currently. The gap 17.3 seconds to P3. But everyone else 10 laps on their tyres. Certain currently at the moment only 5. But he has to get these tyres to the end if he needs this race to go great for him though, because at least a podium, minimum podium finish should be there for him. Nos is currently earning P3. Over 12 seconds off No Sebo, but still running smooth. No Sebo is just about just over a second, just over a little over a second behind Chris Knifer in P1. I think this is very close. There are races, both of them have won over like 20-25 seconds gap, with over 20-25 seconds gap so far. It's going smooth for both the top two. The gap only staying within 1.5 seconds to 1 second to 1.6, 1.7. That's pretty much the average, I think. Both of them maintaining in this race. What's left to see? No Sebo 80-100 quicker in the middle sector overall on his lap though. But how quick he's going to be able to go at the end of this lap. Certain Benna currently holds the fastest lap record. Not the fastest lap record, but yeah, pretty much the fastest lap record. It is a record though. It is recorded, so yeah. No one pitting, I think. These guys are at least going to try and take it very long. What about No Sebo? Is he going to be able to get the fastest lap of the race? He will not be. He will in fact improve by over 3/10, but he's not going to be getting the fastest lap of the race. Lap 13 out of 27. We might see cars coming in for their first round of pit stops. First and only rounds though. Almost there, a little slide from Knifer out. They're almost losing out on there. And these lapped cars out there, he's got to go through all of them. That might help. No Sebo out there who would want Chris to lose as much time as he can for the good of No Sebo. But Chris is going to try and get past these cars very quickly. Almost has to brake on the circuit to get past, and that is obviously going to be pretty disastrous for him. Gap was almost 2 seconds, now back to 1.1 second. No Sebo definitely getting the help, but for how long? Chris might get the help, because No Sebo would be wanting. Oi, Chris now having a little slide, and now No Sebo having to get past the AI as well, having to get past the lapped cars, which obviously not going to be good for him. Losing time now, the gap almost back to 2 seconds on the straights. These guys let you by, but and there you go, there is the pit stop. Chris Knifer, an attempt to undercut. No Sebo will have to watch and see, but an attempt to undercut the race. No Sebo currently takes the race lead. No Assist also stays out as well. What about Certain? He goes very wide out there, but what is he doing? Might get a penalty to himself like that, but he's keeping it nicely done. Where is Chris Knifer? Just takes it in the bits. So Chris has exited ahead of Certain. He's going to stay in P3 and the net lead of the Grand Prix just before No Sebo pit and knows his pit. We'll have to watch and see though. P4 for him, 8.5 seconds the gap. But if he's able to do any quicker or better lap times than Chris, who's 2.8 seconds slower than his fastest lap. Certain's about 9/10 or so slower than his fastest lap. And lap 14 out of 27 though. No Sebo currently 15 seconds ahead of No Assist. We will definitely see if No Sebo pits or does he stay out long, try and overcut Chris Knifer who obviously wants to win the Grand Prix. And there comes No Assist into the pits. No Assist going very wide there as well. Everybody going very wide there. Certain on the previous lap went wide out there as well. After currently P3, 9.4 seconds ahead of No Sebo. The gap is even getting lesser than now. Wow, that is nice. What about No Sebo, who's just getting his tires changed? Chris Sniper coming around the main straight. This is going to be very, very close. Sniper might well be ahead and will be ahead. As into lap 15 these guys go. That would well be. There you go, P3 for No Sebo, still maintaining it. 2.2 seconds behind Chris Sniper. Almost as much as how much the gap was, but still the undercut still working for Chris Sniper, being the quickest for him, and holds him at 2 seconds now. The gap between P1 and P2, and No Assist pretty much almost gonna let Chris pass though, but definitely not that easy. We'll have to watch out. Lap 15 out of 27. No Assist currently leads the French Grand Prix, but he's a bit stop behind of everybody else. He's still staying another lap out, though. Out 15 laps on these tires might be pretty horrible. I think he's going to anyways exit in P5 if we are making the pit stops count. So that might be P4 though, but obviously P3 is not going to be. There's Chris now right behind him. Just going to try and make the way past No Assist, but is he going to make it easy for him? He will indeed make it easy for him. He lets Chris past on the inside line. Apologies for such low energy on the stream though. I know I'm never really like this, but it obviously is not so good for myself as well. Been pretty poor, but we'll have to get this done now. There you go, there takes the lead, does Chris Sniper. No Assist right behind him, but obviously he's a bit stopped behind, so that does not matter to Chris Sniper if he stays ahead of him or behind. But obviously wants to stay ahead of him though. Everyone has made one pit stop except for some guys, but the race that we are focusing on, No Assist has not made a pit stop yet. Everybody else has, and Certain back into P4. Just 2 seconds behind No Sebo now, and I think a podium would be great. I think also, so there we go. No Assist is pit stop behind as he pits. A good chance of a podium of a Certain Penna would be out there, which I think he wouldn't mind being third best, but pole position was amazing. I think he could have really just made the most use of that pole, but he's gonna definitely not be. We'll see though. The gap only increasing 2.7 seconds now, but Sebo having to fight some of the lapped cars out there as well to just let him past, which Sergeant struggled with as well, but we'll get to see. The leader running very, very smooth. 1.1 second now. That is really close between Certain and Sebo. Sebo nearly fighting. That is P2 because Noah's is still staying out though. I don't know why he's staying out. He doesn't seem to pit. Still having done 16 laps on this tire. It is lap 17 though, but maybe he's a lap down. He might be a lap down on the race leader, but we'll have to watch and see. Chris Knifer doing a great job, and these new tires might help him go even more faster on them though. He's trying to find his way past the Benetton it is, I think, he's trying to get past, and just get past him successfully. Gets the fastest lap, as I just said, 1:44.42. And the gap is just 1 second now. Now Sebo, both the drivers, both the front row runners currently losing the lead. And the race victory to the man, the myth, Chris Knifer, who's smoothly so far. In the gap to over 6 seconds, then that's only increasing. Surely some parts of the track, some drivers increase the gap, but then decrease it back on the others. But we'll have to watch and see as we're on to lap 18 now. Just less than 10 laps now remain in this Grand Prix. Again, apologies for such low energy, but haven't really been that good anymore. We'll have to see how far and how good we could go. As I hope you're enjoying the stream, at least with what we've got here at this point, taking this Grand Prix. Currently lap 18 out of 27. Chris Knifer leading it by over 8.3 seconds, and Sebo and Certain very close to each other. Sebo going a little wide, even losing a little bit more of the time. I don't know what is happening out there. I'll just try and get back to a different camera view. On to lap 19, these two go. Obviously fighting. Certain really wants that P2 at least minimum, because he qualified on pole. And I'm sure it hurts. He's done 13 laps on these tires now. He might or might not be pitting very, very soon once more, because I highly doubt that he's going to take these tires to the end of the Grand Prix. Otherwise, he'll have to I think he's very smoothly, very gently to the grid and to victory, but not victory, but to the end of the Grand Prix, which probably is going to be P3 for him otherwise, because P2 with all the fresher rubber and grip Sebo's got, I don't think Certain's going to be able to fight him at all. Still maintaining P3 and trying to fight back behind Sebo, who's just staying ahead of Sebo. Certain just 34 hundredths slower than his fastest lap time. That is very, very impressive, considering he's only done 13 almost he's done over 13 laps on these dry tires, which are not going to be in the best of the conditions at this point, at this point as compared to the second place driver Sebo, as your race leader is on that finish straight. He's going to start lap 20 now, and Sebo trying to go quicker. He does go quicker, almost by 0.05 of a second, and that's Certain is 3200 slower than his previous, than his fastest lap. That's pretty impressive. Still staying consistent and staying fast will definitely help. If you're new around here, make sure to follow. I understand not really that good of an energetic stream, but sure, we'll be back with one out on Tuesday we're doing these races every 2 days of the week, Tuesday and Friday. And today is the Friday one. I did miss the last few races because of the internet issues and some others as well. And there goes Ayrton, goes past Sebo. Almost made the move successful there, but not successful enough. Currently in P3. Surely get your questions ready, as we will have the top 3 getting questioned and giving answers to our questions. As there goes Certain past No Sebo with still impressive, very impressive with those old tyres, being able to make the move into P3, P2 now. That is going to be a well greater one. No Sebo obviously would be gutted to lose on P2, but it's not the end of the race at all. 8.6 seconds to the P2, to the P1 driver. 8.4, 8.24, 8.3 now. In fact, gaining that time on the race leader. Certain might have all the greatest of the pace. He really might be Ayrton Senna instead of Certain being here in France. But we will have to see for how long though, because these 15-lap old tires, older rubber, just would be getting worse and worse. The one stop really looks unlikely for him, but if he really is able to take these tires to the end of the Grand Prix, that is going to be really impressive, considering already on lap 21 out of 27 though, so that is still not far away, actually not far away from the end of the Grand Prix. That might be possible for Certain, the pole sitter who took his first pole of the season, but obviously not. The race start, he wanted Chris really smoothly making his way past the AI, who might have these two, Certain and No Sebo, trying to gain a bit of time on Chris Snifer, but obviously that is not going to be that much successful. But how much successful that's going to be, we'll have to get and see as we get to we're back on to the just a bit of a layout change, and there we go. There is no layout change actually. It's exactly the same as still now 7.2 seconds. What a gain! Sure, Certain's just within 1 second and well within reach of No Sebo for second place. And there we go. There he might be in the reach. 7.2 seconds. The race leader going into lap 22 just stays ahead of No Sebo does Certain, still keeping it out there, and just stays ahead of him though in P2. The top 3 making it a great memorable race. Certinless and Noah is currently P3 and 4. Might not be that impressive or that interesting to say, but we'll have to see what or how quick or how good these all of these drivers are going to be. They're doing a fantastic job, and there we go. My energy might be back, but I don't want to waste it, because this is very important for me to get to the end of the race, because it is really costly. Because at the start of the stream I was really having it just like I do every other day or every other stream, every other race that we do, but that almost costed me the whole stream, because I almost wasn't able to do anything past that moment. But I pushed through, I made it, and I am making it. Still far away from the end of the Grand Prix. There it goes, very wide, does No Sebo. That is going to be very helpful for Certain, keeping P2, who's actually made his way well past the AI drivers. So has No Sebo now, as our race leader just coming around the final corner. He's again about to make it 2 victories in a row for the second time this season, and victory number 4 in France. But we'll have to see, as Canada's, so 2 have been won by No Sebo, that is going to be, and 2 by Chris Knife. That is going to be 4 races. Not 2, actually 3 won by No Sebo, Chris Knife, and 2 by No Sebo. That's going to be 5 races, and the one in Canada was only sprint results counted. So that is going to be your 6 races, and this is the 7th one. And there you go. We are already on lap 23 out of 27. Just a few more laps now before the end of the Grand Prix. Not far away now. That is great news, not only for anyone out there on track, not only for Chris now, but for Certain as well, because obviously he wants minimum P2, which you would be happy with, though I think considering the pace of Chris. He anyways wouldn't have let anybody out there have a smooth race, but sure, I think Certain has pushed through, and if he's able to make this strategy work, bringing over 20 laps on these dry tires, that is going to be some talent as well. It is fantastic. He's taking it as good as he can so far, as we are now trying to look at no assist, currently P4, still staying ahead, just staying ahead of Tinless. He's running a bit, maybe trying to get the fastest lap though, currently P5. But rather, I think he tried paying the penalty. Let's have a look at if his penalty got paid. It did not, I don't know, because he's got 9 seconds in penalties. I don't think his one got paid though. He gained a lot of penalties today, making a rough start. He really gained a lot of positions at the start, actually. If you were around with us, if you weren't, don't worry, these VODs stay available for over 15 days, and the videos of the stream is then uploaded onto the F1 CRR Cockpit Real Racing channel on YouTube, making these videos available almost forever, as long as the channel is out there, as it's now on lap 24 of the race leader. He's just getting closer and closer to victory. Yeah, Chris Knife getting closer to fourth victory of the season. Who would well want to be winning this, and he's winning it by style again. They got over 8 seconds. He's always won these races by so many seconds, by too many seconds. But for how long though, we'll get to see, and we'll get the experience not only around here but the upcoming round as well. But for how long, as we are about to see at this moment, 8.2 seconds to the leader. Now the gap still just less than half a second. Really close out there for the top 2. The top 3, I shall say. Chris gets a penalty, but that does not matter unless that he doesn't get it 3 times, because I'm going to get the gap 2. That's going to make it 9 seconds, which obviously the gap is not bigger than. That would be a struggle for him. So far it's smooth and good enough for him to make its way past. There's 19 laps on those tires. Still very impressive from Certain Penna, having the 19 laps done on these tires. 2 more, or in fact 3 more, would make it 23 laps on these tires. That would be really extraordinary, as everybody else had to pit multiple times. Obviously he did pit once as well, just but very early pit stop for him, because after a front wing damage, it was nothing much that he could do but pit for repairs. And these 410s going quicker than his fastest lap, at least in the middle sector. We'll have to see how he does till the final, as obviously now certain tires are getting worsening, wearing out more and more, which obviously is not going to be beneficial for him at all. And there we go, the race leader has made it on the second last lap of the Grand Prix. 26 out of 27 laps of this Paul Ricard circuit. And this classic Scar Championship, that is 1991 calendar, every single track followed up by 12 races in the season, as it is round 7 already, making this really smoothly done. And there is certain as a helicopter shot. It was very not far away from Nosebo's reach. I think anybody could take second place out here, but certain really, I think after a disastrous start, has made it very good recovery, and if he's able to get second place, that would be fantastic result for him in the Drivers' Championship as well, because he's always been there, been consistent, been in the top 3 every other race, which makes it him more than enough consistent. Obviously others out there as well, but some of them missing races. For example, Chris missed a few Grand Prix from these 7 rounds, but still I think he's going to make his mark and stay really close. There might be a chance for Nosebo to try and take second place. I think at this point Certain will be very gutted to lose it, but we will have to watch and see. And there you go, as I said, fastest lap point to Captain Teenless, who's got penalties, who's got a lot of penalties, but still might be getting P5, keeping P5, having a gap to the driver behind. And all these drivers now starting their final lap. So has the race leader started his very final lap of the Grand Prix. Well might be in course to win in France, but we are going to focus on P2 and 3, who are not going to be that far away to try and overtake, try and make an upset, try and make these a thing, as we are now having a look at the race leader, but probably will pick him up when he's in that final sector, which obviously he's having to get just in a few moments time. Nosebo following overtook Certain at the race start, starting P2. Certain started on pole, lost many positions, almost was last of the running car in P4 of the running cars, just ahead of Nosebo. Still Nosebo now making that little progress, going a bit faster than his previous lap time, as we're now on board with Chris Neifer, the man who won in United, who won in the USA, who won in Brazil, and then went on to miss a few races in Monza and Monaco, then come back to win back in Mexico. And he's going to come home to win, and come home to make it 2 in a row for the second time this season. And he's going to win here in France and take the checkered flag first, to take victory here in the French Grand Prix and get the fastest lap as well. And that is going to be Certain, after hard-fought fighting, takes second place and maintain it, and doing 22 laps on these tires is going to be greatest. Fantastic, awesome from him. Nosebo taking third place. I think he started second, finishing third. Shouldn't be very much worse though. And that is Gnosis currently in P4 with Teenless in P5 at this point. We'll have to watch and see, as don't go anywhere. I'm sure there will be post-race interviews very soon, as we would be interviewing the top 3 in the race. But a fantastic race out there, great racing between all these drivers. That is going to make it absolutely amazing, as we're just going to wait for this little part, everybody to take the checkered flag. No assist taking the checkered flag in P4. I think he'd be rather happy with the result. Didn't have the qualifying that good, but still finishing ahead of Teenless, who has many penalties. I think Teenless tried to end a few drivers' race at the start, but lucky enough no one got out of it, as he is, along with a few others, just yet to cross the and take the checkered flag, currently making it his. And there you go, there goes Captain Teenless finishing P5 in the race, and that will be it for the French Grand Prix. This was surely an exciting and amazing one. Pity that I was not in the best of conditions, but really making it amazing performance from all these drivers. And there are your podium celebrations. Chris out on top once again, doing fantastic job. As you just try and get information about if we are going to be doing interviews or not, post-race interviews. Everybody leaving the session now, obviously not interested, not in use of any of the drivers anymore, as we are just hopefully gonna get that confirmation and wait for all these drivers. And there are your race results. Chris Knifer winning the Grand Prix once again, and for the there we'll have to watch and see. And there you go. We will be having some interviews, which is going to be nice to have a little talk with the race winners, with the podium finishers, and the top 3 in this race.
Chi c'è?
Hello, Zabib.
Hello,
Hey, hey.
Zabi.
Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, fine, thanks. You?
Not really good, but decent enough.
Okay. The important is that you're getting better.
Yeah, yeah.
So, how about the race? Did you like it? Was it fun?
Yeah, it was actually fun. I wish I really had more energy to like put into the show, but still a good one, I think.
Okay, okay. All
Yeah,
right. Do you
nice.
have any question for us?
Yeah, surely. Certain first, starting on pole position, really turning Certain into Ayrton Senna, but really not the start you would have wanted, that's for sure.
No, exactly. At the start, actually, I was overtaken by Captain, which was way faster, and also Sebo. But there was some lagging, so I crashed into Sebo at turn 1, 2, 3. I think it was yeah, corner 3, and I damaged my front wing. So after 3 laps, I had to box. I tried to to go with it, but I couldn't take it, so I had to box early. That was my race, my start. I mean, but during the race, I was able to recatch them, and it was a good fight towards the end with Nocebo, which I really like it.
Yeah, absolutely. You in the end doing all about 22 laps on those tires. How was it in the end in the car out there?
Yeah, they weren't that bad actually. Yeah, so you felt they were going with less grip, but still they were good. I mean, if you weren't pushing too much, they were good. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the
fantastic.
important for me was to keep Sebo behind, and I managed that. It was really tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was, ladies and gentlemen, that Certain, the driver that finished in P2. Really, congratulations to them. And now we're going to get on to Chris, the race winner.
Thank you, Zabib. Yeah, great race. The qualifying was not the best performance I could pull, for sure. But the race went well. Just followed the second strategy that the game came up with. and I managed to undercut Nosebo, and then from there it was just race pace. And then I managed to also do the fastest lap of the race, getting all that extra point. It's good for the championship. That was all. I got a bit. I misjudged the fuel a bit, but I managed to keep it till the end. So it went all good. The qualifying could be better, but the points were on the Sunday, so on the race. All good.
Yeah, so fantastic, getting all the maximum points from the race and finishing on the top of the podium.
Yeah, it feels always great.
Yeah, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That would be for the post-race interviews, and I'm sure you all enjoyed the